Heya Cryptozens, it's 10 p.m. Pacific time. The date is October 5th. Welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nikodemus, and I'll be your host as we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space and the industry that surrounds it. Keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. Coinbase announced that they were breaking new ground in Australia. They're breaking new ground, but this is not virgin territory for the cryptocurrency exchange, not by any means. Coinbase first got into Australian market back in 2016. Now, what they announced was the expansion of their services to retail customers in Australia, which is nice. A lot of the new product services coming out lately seem to have been geared towards institutional investors. And while institutional investors are important, it's nice to see something for retail folks like me. So what they're doing is they're introducing something called Pay ID. Pay ID is billed as a way for Australians to use direct transfers from their bank accounts to deposit funds. So this runs on infrastructure put together by a combination of the Reserve Bank of Australia and the Australian finance sector. It lets people hook up a phone number or an email address to a bank account and receive payments that way. But that's not all. The fun doesn't stop there. No, Australia is also coming out with retail advanced trading. And that retail advanced trading bundles powerful trading tools with a unified balance and 24/7 chat support. In their announcement, Coinbase tweeted, quote, "Hello, Australia. Coinbase is making it easier for Australians to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Now with PID support, enabling Australian dollar deposits and withdrawals, access to over 200 plus crypto assets with advanced trading tools and security features, and 24/7 chat support." And Coinbase wrote about their relationship with Australians. In a blog post, they wrote, quote, "Aussies were some of the world's earliest adopters of cryptocurrencies, and they are savvy investors. We know this because Coinbase was one of the first platforms Australians trusted with their crypto investments. Now, we want to elevate their experience using Coinbase." Anand Morrison is Coinbase's Vice President of International and Business Development. They were talking about why Australian was chosen, and he said that building during the bear market has paid off dividends during the last bull run. That gives him confidence in the local market. And he talked about baseline signals, like awareness locally of what crypto is, or the belief that crypto has a place in the future of finance. Those, according to Morrison, Australia is better off compared to the US and other markets. He said, quote, "Australia definitely punches way, way over its weight in the APAC region, certainly at a global level too. And from a revenue contribution standpoint, I feel pretty good about what it's going to do." They called Australia a hotbed of fintech innovation. And they said that's why they spent so much time trying to understand the market. Now, on a more nuts and bolts level, Coinbase said that they had incorporated a local entity and registered that entity with the Australian Transaction Reports and Analysis Center. Coinbase said that they have prioritized compliance with regulations from the earliest days of the company. They said, quote, "At Coinbase, we believe in collaborating with governments on initiatives related to blockchain technologies, Web3, and digital assets." So these new services, access to bank accounts, fast payments, advanced trading, 24/7 chat, these are all in anticipation of establishing a full range of institutional and development projects. Coinbase is also going to be collaborating with the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, specifically their Blockchain Innovation Hub. The idea behind the partnership is to assess Web3 opportunities. They're also working with the University of New South Wales to create related courses and assist in research programs. As we like to do on the show, let's take a look at the numbers, because we had a big dip in the middle of the day, and I think we've almost recovered from all that. At the time of writing, the global crypto market cap is $966 billion. That's down 0.06%, so not all that much. The top 5 cryptos by market cap are Bitcoin up 0.2%, Ethereum up 0.34%, Tether, USDC, and Binance Coin down 0.31%. Beleaguered crypto lender Celsius loses another executive because, according to Bloomberg, co-founder Daniel Leon is stepping away from his role as Chief Strategy Officer. The bankrupt lending firm has confirmed this information. They said Leon was, quote, no longer part of the organization. As we reported here on September 27th, Alex Mashinsky resigned. He said that he had become a distraction to the company, and so he left efforts to recover what was left of Celsius. In his resignation statement, Mashinsky said, quote, I regret that my continued role as CEO has become an increasing distraction, and I am very sorry about the difficult financial circumstances members of our community are facing. In this case, Leon acquired 32,600 shares of Celsius stock. That was February of 2018. At present, there's no indication of what's going to happen to his dividends. Honestly, I don't think that there's going to be a whole lot left. Although that may change somewhat, because the much anticipated auction of Celsius's assets is likely to go through this month. The way it's looking is that Celsius will have its final bid outline on October 17th. From there, an auction on the 20th of October, if one's needed. This information comes to us from a filing with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of New York, dated Monday. Then there's a sale hearing scheduled for November 1st at 11 a.m. Chief U.S. Bankruptcy Judge Martin Glenn will preside over the case via Zoom, and they're expecting a large number of participants. According to CoinGecko, Bitcoin dominance is at 38.67%, Ethereum 16.33%, USDC, USDT, and Binance Coin coming in at 4.8%. XRP, BUSD, Cardano, Solana, and Dogecoin round out the top 10. So now let's turn our attention to the SWIFT network, what they've been up to lately. On Wednesday, the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, SWIFT, put out an announcement. They said they've successfully moved central bank digital currencies and tokenized assets. They say they moved them on existing financial infrastructure. According to SWIFT, this means, quote, CBDCs can be rapidly deployed at scale to facilitate trade and investment between more than 200 countries and territories around the world. So it's been a while since I've added to the series, but I covered the SWIFT network. It's the subject of one of my episodes of Crypto in 5 Minutes. Now, I'm not going to spend the whole 5 minutes explaining it now. The TLDR is that SWIFT is a messaging system. 11,500 financial institutions, and it moves money through international transactions. So what they're saying is that there were a couple of experiments. And on one, they worked with Capgemini to settle transactions using CBDCs based on different distributed ledger technologies. And then the second one was processing transactions using a fiat to CBDC payment network. Now, right now, 9 out of 10 central banks are actively pursuing CBDCs. And there's a mix of 14 commercial and central banks that are collaborating. They've put together a testing environment to work towards a full-on CBDC deployment. In another announcement, SWIFT said they've shown their infrastructure can integrate tokenized platforms with different types of cash payments. So, working with Citi, Clearstream, Northern Trust, and Settle, they worked through 70 different scenarios. They covered topics like simulating market issuance and secondary market transfers of tokenized assets. This could be big, because according to the World Economic Forum, the tokenized market could hit $24 trillion by 2027. Tom Zach is the Chief Innovation Officer at SWIFT, and he said, quote, digital currencies and tokens have huge potential to shape how we will pay and invest in the future. But that potential can only be unleashed if the different approaches that are being explored have the ability to connect and work together. We see inclusivity and interoperability as central pillars of the financial ecosystem, and our innovation is a step towards unlocking the potential of a digital future. Now, in other news, Swift has partnered with Chainlink on another proof of concept project. This would see traditional finance firms transact using blockchain networks. This project was announced at SmartCon 2022 conference in New York. Jonathan Soleil is Swift's strategy officer, and he said that there is, quote, undeniable interest from institutional investors into digital assets. He said that there are traditional finance players that want access to digital and traditional assets on one platform. So what they're doing is they're taking Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol, or CCIP. They're using that to let Swift send token transfers across nearly every blockchain network. Sergey Nazarov is Chainlink co-founder, and he said this Chainlink Swift implementation will accelerate distributed ledger blockchains across capital markets and traditional finance. Now, right now, Swift is the largest platform for cross-border fiat transactions. In the network are 1,100 banks around the world. They're handling an average of 44.8 million messages a day. That said, Swift is terminally slow. Transactions can take days to complete. That's why Swift had been looking at blockchain and CDBCs as a way to speed that process up. Now, Chainlink points out that this project allows financial institutions to get access to blockchain capabilities without replacing existing legacy systems, without having to develop and integrate some sort of connectivity into TradFi systems. This is important, as these kinds of modifications would come at what they called an exceptionally high cost. In the meantime, I continue to think interoperability is both a key point to the future of crypto and fintech, but it's also one of the biggest potential points of failure. We've seen a number of hacks on bridges of late. According to Chainalysis, some $2 billion worth of crypto has been stolen from bridges in 13 different heists. Most of that was from this year. When they asked Willie Sutton why he robbed banks, he had a ready answer. He said he robbed banks because that's where the money is. Same thing with bridges and crypto. These bridges tend to attract large volumes of locked assets from different blockchains, some of them with sophisticated security, and then some of them without. Elliptic's Cross-Chain Report 2022, released yesterday, said, quote, this has made bridges an attractive target for cyber criminals. From January to July 2022, $1.2 billion worth of crypto assets were stolen across 8 bridge compromise incidents. Clearly, Chainlink thinks that they can do a better job than cross-chain bridges have so far. But I think it's still the same problem. Nazarov, however, sounds confident. He told Fortune magazine, quote, this is what CCP seeks to solve, and I don't think it's an intractable problem. I think it's a solvable problem.